Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. We've got part 2 of one of our favorite Scentsy leaders and her husband on their 2025 kickoff call. I reacted to part 1 about a week before I'm recording this one. If you missed part 1, I don't think you need to watch it before you watch this.
You definitely don't.
But I'll link it in the description to give you a brief overview of that. They basically got on, gave their team a bunch of fluff and asked them to write down their goals for the year. They're supposed to be bringing back their goals with them to this part of the call that we're reacting to, and we're gonna get right the fuck into it. But first, we need the disclaimer.
Someplace I could hide away. I feel like blessing my ride today. I feel like blessing my ride today. Good for the most part. I'ma need a few rings for the whole squad. Head still on the swing.
Now, if you're not familiar with Scentsy, I do have a full deep dive that is now out of date because as of this year, 2025, they just revamped their whole compensation plan and pricing and all of those things. I will still go ahead and link the deep dive in the description if you're interested in learning more about how they run and how they started. However, so you have an idea, they are an MLM, a multi-level marketing company, network marketing company. Some would even refer to them as a pyramid scheme. And that is because of the recruitment-based business model that they run off of. They do have a product, and their product of focus is scented products. Their first product that they came out with was the wax warmers that you plug into the wall. And they have a light bulb and a dish that goes on top and melts the scented wax to make your house or wherever smell good. They have since expanded, and they have a bunch of scented products. Pretty much anything that you could think of that is scented, that's what they sell at an overpriced point, in my opinion. Now that we have all of that out of the way, let's get the fuck into this training call.
Oh, finally.
All right, guys, we are back. We're going to do our part 2 of a call we did earlier this month, kind of like a kickoff to 2025 vibe. And Justin is actually going to lead this call tonight.
Oh, great.
And so if y'all have questions along the way, I'm going to stop him as I see them as I can. And we're going to answer those kind of on the spot if they have questions. And then all these notes are going to be shared with you guys. So y'all will have the notes in case anybody's notes kind of people. And you want to go ahead and start?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. Yeah. So the goal of tonight is to kind of review what we went over during our first training at the beginning of the month, kind of to kick off January, when we were talking about this is going to be a working month, that we wanted you to focus on what you're going to take into this year, what you're going to get rid of, what you're going to keep, what you're going to try different. And I think that's important because I think it's a good way to start as far as to understand what's working and what's not working in your business going into this year. There's a lot of external factors right now too that play into the economy and everything that's happening. And so just know that even though you feel like you may be in a dip or your business maybe might be doing the best.
Or maybe it's going great.
Or maybe it's going great. Like I said, it's
been a great month. So maybe it's going great.
The good thing is I want to say that Scentsy has set it up to where you are in control of your business and what happens and how successful you want to be.
Who's going to tell him?
I am so sorry if you have been watching me. I am situated now. We should be, am I? We should be good to go for the rest of the call. Sorry, that may have distracted your eyeballs.
And so at the beginning of the month, I had you guys do a little homework assignment where you were supposed to go in, pull your best month, pull your worst month. And the purpose of that was not to go back and just look at the numbers, but I wanted you to get back into the mindset of what was working and why it was working and what wasn't working and why it wasn't working. And so that's the whole purpose of doing that. And I think it's a good thing to do continuously throughout the year. And so we're almost at the end of the month right now. We just had a big flash sale today with the bundles. It's something to assess to see if you had any new customers. It's something to see if it went well, what went well with the sale. If it didn't go well, did I not promote it enough? Did I not send an email out? Did I not text enough people? Do I not have enough households to where it even matters if we have a flash sale because I don't have enough customers?
Mm-hmm.
It's time to start being honest with yourself and where you're at in your business. That way you can grow. And I think that's where you have to start. And that's why going back and looking at where you were when it was successful or when it wasn't, you have to get a baseline to start to be honest to where you can build and evolve. Because if you're not honest with where you're at in your business,
you're not
there's no soil to grow roots in.
Well, if you're not honest in where you're at with your business, you're not ever going to evolve. You're going around a circle.
Yeah.
And when you're going around a circle, you're just going to keep repeating the same things, but you're going to change a couple of things about it, but you're not evolving, which is the key to success.
So that was the purpose of that homework. And for me, it's always good to go back and look too, because whenever I go back and look at months where it's a high sales, high recruiting, things are going well, I go back and then look at the calendar and see exactly what Chloe was doing, who she was talking to, why she was talking to them, so on and so forth. You even get down into the weeds to go and see what you posted on social media during those times. Being in this type of business, you have to constantly assess what's working well so you can see what the highest and best use of your time is. If you're a nurse or if you're working in any other profession, you always know what the highest and best use of your time is. And so what is the highest and best use of your time as a Scentsy consultant? And I feel like that's different for each consultant. It's not the same. So you have to understand what that is, what you were doing, what you were posting, who your audience is. And that's all. I think you need to do that consistently and if you haven't done it before, I would start doing it weekly. Okay, I got 2 new sales this week, or I got sales this week. What did I post on this day? What message did I send?
I said this in part 1, I believe. He's just such a bro marketer and he gives such bro marketer vibes. And since I am very far from a type A, I know that anything they say on this training from past reactions is not going to help anybody except for a type A. And this is a great example of that because he's talking about these individuals having to know their audience. And a lot of people go into this and they have no idea who their audience is. They have never been in marketing before. They don't know who they're supposed to be talking to. It can't always just be friends and family. You want to give these people specifics. Like, you need your ideal customer profile. Make a story about your ideal customer. What is their life like? What do they do every day? How can your message relate to their life? And that is where these business leaders should be starting when they're getting on these types of calls with their team, trying to train them in getting more customers and building their team, whatever. You want to start at the very basic. It's like they dive into these calls and they're just like,
all right, you need to make sure you're talking to your customer. You need to make sure you're posting on social media. You need to evaluate this, this, and this.
They are so far behind in most cases because they have no idea what you're talking about, bro. And he is a literal bro marketer. He has owned his own businesses in the past. I don't know if he still does now, but he is somebody who already knows the ins and outs of running a quote unquote business, even though we all know Scentsy is not your business. They're treating it like it is in this situation. And when you're doing that, you have to start at the basics for these people. They don't know what you're talking about. They don't know how to execute what you're talking about in an effective way, and they will never know how to execute what you're talking about in an effective way if you don't start at the basics and give them what they need to figure that part out. But anyway, that was a side rant, I feel like.
You can say that again.
But it just goes to show how much these leaders actually don't know what the fuck they're doing.
And what words was I using whenever I sent out the sell? Those are just things that you always have to constantly be in your mind about what you were doing when things were going well, what you were saying, what environment did you have your social post in, what mood were you in? And I think if you see that.
And also, side note, what about the consultants that things have never been going well? There are so many of those people who have yet to build a team and be successful and make a penny.
You'll start to be able to create the highest and best use of your time, and then you can map out your whole year based off that. And then that's when I said every 90 days you need to assess. And that's the difference between running a direct sales business versus a 9-to-5. A 9-to-5, you get told what the highest and best use of your time is. With this business, you have nobody telling you what to do. You have us telling you things that work for us, but it's not going to work for you unless that's the environment you're in and you take it and it works.
Also,
exactly that. Justin, if you're watching this, go back and listen to yourself say that. You said it.
So can I say, gosh, you know what else? Never mind, I'm not even going to say it. No,
you already started it. You can't do that because now everybody wants to hear it.
No, so at the end of the day, you have to have a reason to want to succeed in Scentsy, in anything you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you lose that want, which isn't motivation, it isn't Scentsy changing 50 million new products or things to make you happy. It's you, and it's that internal focus. And so our goal tonight is to help get you refocused and to get you to understand what evolving means, because I think a lot of you guys are stuck. If not a lot of you, maybe some of you are stuck because you're not evolving, you're circling. And so what we want to be able to do is give you guys tips tonight on how to evolve and how to tap in to the next level of your business. Because
all right, well, we're 6 minutes into the call and you haven't started that process. You probably just confused a whole bunch of people and overwhelmed them with your husband rambling a list of things they should be doing. This hasn't been helpful yet, in my opinion, of course.
Nothing is going to change if nothing changes, and too many people are just kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah, you're going
repeatedly.
You're playing pickleball.
Did somebody say pickle?
I'm Pickle Rick!
We're just a bunch of pickles out here sitting in the salty brine forever and always.
To get out of this. I'm kind of going to pivot a little bit from the notes. There are going to be some things in here, but what I feel like you guys need tonight is not so much as a motivational, but it's a redirection on how your mindset needs to be going into 2025 with reporting, goals, prioritizing, and how to grow. Because your mind's a very powerful thing. I'm reading a book right now called Think Like a Freak. And it's not what you think when I say think like a freak. It's just basically the whole premise of this book is to think differently. For instance, an example in the book of somebody who thinks differently. I don't even really want to say it, but basically the way you just need to read the book, because there's a lot of controversial topics in this book.
What the f was the point of that?
You just need to read a book. There's controversial topics. I'm not going to say it.
Where are we going? You guys are the ones going in circles, not these people trying to figure out their business that is going to go away, in my opinion, in the next year or less. But you guys are talking in circles. You're not evolving this conversation at all. Let's get it together. Chop, chop.
Controversial topics that you probably in your mind have your mind made up in one way, but then you read this book and you're like, dang, I didn't think of it from that perspective. And so it's been one of my favorite books. I've made it a challenge. I made it a challenge this year to where I want to read 13 books this year is kind of the challenge I made to myself. And so that's a mindset that I'm having. And that's one of the first books that I've read this year. And it kind of got me on this mindset, even to think about Scentsy differently and how you can take it into this year. So that's what I want you guys to get out of this call tonight, as to how you can shift your mindset to get out of your old way of thinking and think new, because it's time to evolve. And the first thing you have to do to evolve is you have to shift your mindset. You have to stop thinking that this is the best it can get from me and that, no, there can be more. And I think that's what it is that you guys need tonight.
Moving on.
Let's go. I mean, for real, though. She's not wrong there.
But the first thing I'm going to talk about from a reporting standpoint, a lot of you guys reports, I've trained on them so many times in the past. There's so many, you can go to YouTube and look at any of her channel. I have reports on how to build reports, so on and so forth. What I want to talk about reports tonight with you guys for whenever you're looking at things is really, I can break it down to two things for you. If you have a team of what you're looking for, it's high sales and high recruiting. That's the main things you're looking for right now within Scentsy, to see if people are doing what they need to do, is high sales, high recruiting.
And new customer acquisition.
You can't.
The thing to know about MLMs is they might talk about sales and they might talk about new customer acquisition, but the end goal is always to get the customer to join Scentsy, because that is how the business keeps growing, right? So when she says new customer acquisition, in my opinion, the reason that they're focusing so much on new customer acquisition, which is something that's being heavily used in Scentsy from what I've seen, is because they need new people to try to recruit, because everybody that knows about Scentsy, that has bought Scentsy, has been pestered to death to either end up joining or completely get rid of the people who keep pestering them to join Scentsy. So they need the new customers to keep building their, in my opinion, pyramid, but they will deny that all day, of course, because that would just go ahead and prove that they are in fact a pyramid scheme, and 80% or more of their customer base is just the consultants buying products for themselves.
Check that though. So what I want to say to you and challenge you on this, that's more of your personal business. From a team standpoint, if you have a team or if you don't have a team, is high sales, high recruiting, Put a lot of focus in on that. Go ahead and create reports and look at people who are selling more than $500, or I'll even make it easier. Anybody who's doing the new metric of $250 and more, you need to have a conversation with them every month. Just not like a full-blown conversation, but if they're selling more than $250 a month right now, your challenge needs to be, hey, how was your month? What are you doing? Is there anything you need my help with? What challenges are you facing?
Yeah, I was about to say, so if you're a new leader on here, say you've recruited
new consultant or anybody.
you've recruited somebody, right? So maybe you're not even lead yet, but you recruited somebody, or maybe you're lead star superstar. It's so important for you guys to understand that when it comes to people on your team, you 100% are ready to help them succeed. There is a stigma that you guys, some of you get super nervous and you freeze and you feel like you can't do it. I want to challenge you, or if you're listening to the playback on this and say you have built a team, but you just didn't really do anything with them because you were scared, go to anchoredscents.com. It has every single thing you need, and just help them win, help them sell, help them make samples, help them succeed. Because what's happening is people are recruiting too. And it's not always that people don't want to work, because there are people that do want to work. And believe it or not, a lot of people that join our teams, they actually do want to succeed. Mm-hmm. They may cover it up and say, like, I just don't want to put the work or time into it. But a lot of times something else gets in the way of that, something we may not even know that happened that made them give up on themselves, or they just didn't feel adequate. They didn't feel like they were trained enough. So what I want to say to this before Justin moves on is, because I haven't said it in a long time, like, if you have a team member, please even go back, even if you didn't train them, and just ask them what they need. Like, tell them you can help them. Reach out to your upline so we can help you, because if you can get someone to feel like they're a part of something when they join, number one, it's going to help you as the leader, because you are a leader when you have somebody on your team. Your title doesn't matter. Like, when you have somebody on your team, you're a leader.
That's not how it works.
The argument that having a team member makes you automatically a leader is so false. Somebody who is in high school, who has never worked a day in their life, can go and sign up for Scentsy and have their friend sign up under them. They don't even have work experience. They just have gone to school for their entire life so far. That doesn't automatically make them a leader just because they got somebody to sign up under them. Most people who sign up for an MLM have no leadership skills. They don't know how to run a team. They don't know how to train people. They have no clue what they're doing themselves. So how are they going to help a quote unquote team? It just doesn't work that way. Just because somebody signed up under you doesn't mean you're a leader.
Hey, come on, help them win. Challenge yourself this year in 2025 to help these people that join your team, to help them do really well. And that will change your business. I just wanted to add that.
And what I would say too is, if your business hasn't been working for the past 6 months, you feel like you can't get out of this lull.
Why will it change your business? Why, if the people under you, if having a team isn't what gets you an income, isn't what your income is based on, why is training your team to be successful going to change your business? How is it affecting you? It shouldn't. If it wasn't a pyramid-like pay structure, it should not affect you and your income, but it does, because you make an income off of their sales and their recruits.
You can't feel like you can't get out of this dip. It's time to restart your business. And that's the beautiful thing about Scentsy, is you can restart your business every month. Try something new, try something different. Guess what? It's still going to be there next month.
Is it though?
So that's the beautiful thing about Scentsy versus a 9-to-5 or anything else you're doing. You can try different things to see if it works and how you can connect with people. And so now I'm going to move on to goals that I think you should be setting yourself for this year, in a different mindset to think about, because what I'm about to say is something that I've never said before in a training. So hopefully this makes sense to a lot of people. And if it doesn't, put it in the comments. You need me to elaborate on it a little bit more, because I want to make sure you get this. All right. So the first thing I want you to set a goal for this year, instead of focusing on PRV, focus on new households. Instead of focusing on PRV, I want you to focus on new households. Does that make sense to everybody? Real quick, I'm just looking at the camera. Does that make sense? Does everybody understand?
Just look at the chat.
Yeah. New customer acquisition. You just said the same thing in a different way. That's all. You want new customers, not more PRV. Don't sell more, get more new customers. Why is that, do we think? Maybe because you need the new customers so that you can get new recruits. Where's the lie? If you're not focusing on the PRV, which is personal retail volume, so that is your sales, your personal sales. Instead, you're focusing on getting new households. How does that prove the point that this is not a fucking pyramid scheme. You want more PRV if you want to make more money, if you want to grow your business. You want more money. More sales, more money. New households doesn't mean more sales. More sales means more sales. See where I'm going there? Now I'm just talking in circles. Let's get back into it.
Just type yes if that makes sense. All right. Now, I'm going to take it a little bit further. Yes, I mean new customers.
New households means
but
new customers.
New households to me means there is no Scentsy products or nobody in that house has heard of Scentsy unless a friend referred them to get it.
And that's the real challenge we want to tap into.
So
why is that a challenge? Is that because Scentsy is oversaturated? Because how many households are out there that have never even heard of Scentsy or used Scentsy in the past? There's not many. Most people know what it is. They've moved on from Scentsy because it's so overpriced and so many more companies started making products that are similar and comparable. But there are a ton of people who have used and know what Scentsy is.
I want you to make it a goal to yourself to add 2 new households a month. 2 new households a month. It's simple. Now, this is where it gets trickier. You're talking to a guy that's been in sales his whole life. Does anybody know?
He said his whole life, y'all.
I had to sell Chloe to be with me, so I've been selling my whole life.
Okay.
But the magic number, and this is something I learned a long time ago, and this is something that I had to explain to my son the other day, and it was actually a really cool story. So I'm going to tell you a little quick story. We were out getting dinner the other night at Texas Roadhouse. It's my son's favorite restaurant, and he's used to mommy and daddy banking at Wells Fargo and using our Wells Fargo card. Well, when I went to pay the bill at Texas Roadhouse, he saw me pull out a United Bank debit card and pay with that. My son very confusingly looked at me and said, "Dad, did you get a new bank? Why are you using United Bank?" I said, "No, buddy, this is where I work at. I'm the area representative for United Bank. This is my bank that I'm at." I said, "We still have a Wells Fargo account, but this is where I'm at." He's like, "Well, why are you using that card?" I said, "Would you bank with me or would you sell my product if you saw me using a different bank?" And his mind was just open. So it's just that mindset of being so familiar with your product and comfortable with using it wherever you're at and taking it there, because the number that you want to have with these new households is 4 consumable products per household is a lifelong customer. And what I mean by that is not wax. I mean 4 different types of consumables, or 3 to 4 is the magic number for somebody that's going to consistently reorder from you because they love the product. And I guarantee you right now, and comment in the comments if I'm wrong, your top 5 customers that consistently reorder from you have more than 3 different types of fragrance products that they use in their households. Am I wrong? Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm just curious. Okay. All right. So if you were running a company, what would you want your employees to do? Or what would be the mindset? Would it be hey, I need you to sell more? Or do I need you to increase household and products within that household?
That's what I was about to say. If you've not tapped into other fragrance systems and other products like laundry and clean into the household you already have, that needs to be your focus with those households this year. The rest of your goals need to be focused on new households. So that can give you direction though and clarity if some of you are like, oh wait, actually I haven't thought about product expansion within that household. Do that for sure. And track that, but then also
and that's
new ones as well.
But here's also the added benefit with new households. New households is new referrals, new opportunities to get introduced to other people. Mm-hmm. And there's just so many benefits that come with new households. So that's the challenge that I want to have for you guys. 2 customers and 3 different types of products for each of those customers. Allie said it best. Out of that, you're going to find somebody that wants to sell Scentsy. It's all going to come. It all starts with new customers and new acquisitions, though. That's
all going to come, but it all starts with new customer acquisitions. Did we hear the words? Your new teammates are going to come, but you have to acquire new customers. End goal is always recruit your customers.
You have to read between the lines with this stuff.
The thing when Scentsy was booming is because a lot of people hadn't heard of Scentsy. Social media got really popular. And it exploded because people saw a new way to deliver fragrance in their house versus a candle or versus diffusers or whatever else anybody was using. This was a new way that you could throw fragrance in your house. Scentsy's not new no more. So how do you make it new? You find people that haven't heard of Scentsy. And I know what your mindset's thinking, and this is why I want you guys to think differently. I promise you, there's people 3 doors down from you. And yes, I do like that rock band, but that's not why I use that. But there are people 3 doors down from you that have not heard from Scentsy. Just saying. I guarantee you that. I know that on our street because we don't talk to any of our neighbors.
We are too good for them.
I don't mess with my neighbors. y'all been to my house.
So that takes us to our next step for a goal. And I'm going to let Chloe elaborate just a little bit on this. After you get them, you already know the follow-up system. We're not going to talk about that. But do you have a referral? What's your referrals look like? Do you have referral gifts? What do you do for referrals? So do you want to talk on that a little bit?
This has been trained on a million times by a million awesome consultants.
So go Google it and find it yourself, because I'm not going to tell you how to do it. What the leadership at its finest.
Guys, if you are not setting yourself apart, and it doesn't mean you have to give stuff away and do all these crazy things, but this is why, in my opinion, like I trained my frontline on this, and I'm going to tell y'all, you should be setting yourself up for success when you close parties and using free and half off product for these kinds of things, for referral gifts, for the bar, for the counter clean, whatever it may be, using a flash sale to get a $4 mini warmer and keeping that. But what I do is when there is a referral, you guys, if it's to buy, they're going to get something. And
shoo, minion. What the just happened?
And whether it's to join, they're going to get something. I have it printed. I put it in my thank yous whenever I do my mail outs, and my packaging. And so one thing I would say is, if you're wanting to get better at customer expansion just with your Happy Mail, or just with your samples you're making, you could attach this to a sample, but I'll pop my Canva on the page and on this YouTube link with what I have. But just as simple, like, hey, I love referrals, and telling your customers, hey, I wanted to let you know, I did this for like 3 years, y'all, while I was building it. Hey, I wanted to let you know, I have a
excuse me, sir, did she give you permission to re-enter the frame?
Referral program. If you know anybody that needs an awesome consultant or hasn't used Scentsy, send them my way and send me their name. This is important, because you want to make sure that customer you already have knows, look, I want you to send me their name so you get credit. And I'm saying this because this will be on YouTube. Yes, this is a personal special. Yes, you can't yada yada say this, say this to everybody. This is texting, this is face-to-face, that kind of thing, DMs. But
so the reason they do that is because within your Scentsy business, you cannot promote any personal specials publicly. You have to do that privately, in text, through phone call, in person, DMs. It cannot be publicly advertised, which is interesting when you're calling this your business. If you can't publicly discuss your personal specials in your business, it's actually not at all your business. Surprise!
Whenever they get somebody to join, it's a different prize. It may be a mini warmer. It's nothing crazy. It's what I got free and half off. Like, we got to be smart, y'all. We're not over here being dumb.
But you also got to be generous too, because
you do, yeah.
You got to be generous, and that's something that
what's the difference in closing a party and using everything for yourself, and closing a party and using those rewards for that customer, that host? Because when you treat them well, which we all should be doing that anyways, but when you treat them, let's say different, set apart, that could be the best experience they've got all day. And we're not going to do a customer training, but what I will say is, if you don't have a referral system, get one. You can do, if they refer an order, they could get, you know what I mean, a goodie bag bundle, and it has, you know what I mean, a scent circle. This is your business. This ain't mine.
You know what I call inventory shitting on a
inventory be shitting all over the shelves when you have too much of it.
Sitting on a shelf.
Adjusted.
It slipped out. Do you know what I call inventory sitting on a shelf? Sorry, there's a lot of H's and I's in that.
About inventory.
But do you know what I deal with it all the time in the business world? But you know what I used to say if there was inventory on the shelf? It's an underperforming asset.
Who's on here? Is Amber Garrett on here? Listen, let me just say, the YouTuber that makes videos about me, she's going to tear this video up. So y'all better be glad I love y'all, because there's a troll out there that makes videos about me. So I hope
that's free promotion.
I hope she
Not many could take on a fully grown mountain troll and live to tell the tale.
Local Scentsy troll reporting for duty. I don't know. Am I ripping the video apart? No, I'm critiquing it, in my opinion. What do you think? Anyway, let's get back into it.
Give her the link to where we can get money. From
the
people that are
ordering. Good thing they don't say your name. They say that I'm like really mean to you. That's what she says. Anyways, we're moving on.
But yeah, so now let's go back through.
Y'all are mean to each other. Y'all would drive me crazy if I was sitting in a room with you. You don't let each other talk. You don't actually listen to each other. That's what it seems like when you're on these calls, and you just talk over each other the whole time.
The goals. So goals for yourself: 2 new households a month, and try to get at least 3 products.
Yes.
Within those households. The next one is creating a referral system. A referral system for these people to make them know that you care and you're truly happy that they refer somebody to you, and you're going to take care of those customers that they referred. Within those new products and the new households, I didn't even get into the systems, and I don't think it's relevant, but I think if they're using the consumables, Scentsy Club should be automatic on there. So within that, make sure you're offering everything you use, you should offer, and it should be a non-negotiable just because you know the benefit and you can share it. And if you truly are getting value out of the product, why not share it? I just think that is extremely important for you to do that. All right, so we went through the new households, the new products, the referral system. Now, here's the thing. If you do get somebody to join, I want you to make it a goal that one of your recruits within the first 90 days of them joining, they promote to another title.
This is very hard to do, but this is a great 4-month, 6-month goal to get in a rhythm
90
of that.
days. Every 90 days, you're promoting somebody to a different title. That could be an essential to certified. That could be a certified to a lead. It could be a superstar consultant to a director. Yes, that's something very hard to do. But this business, I promise you, your pay changes when you promote leaders. When people promote, so does your paycheck.
Oops, I said the quiet part out loud.
When people promote, so does your paycheck. When you build leaders, which means they have a team under them, your paycheck grows. Why is that? Because this is a recruitment-based business model with a pyramid-like structure that could potentially be a pyramid scheme, in my opinion.
If you're in our group, I know somebody that has grown a lot of leaders, being myself. So you have somebody perfect to reach out to go, hey, I need a call. I need this. I want to be serious. Because if you do want to be serious and you want to actually do the work to grow leaders, there are plenty of people that have paved the way. Not even just myself, but multiple star directors. Y'all are on a leadership page where these are things that you guys can ask, get help with, and get mentorship with. And that's all you need. So just know if you want it, there's people that have been doing this in this group for a long time. So you have the people that have your back that'll help you get there. And y'all need to remember that.
Now I'm going to turn it back over to this beautiful lady beside you, social selling. So now we're going to go into social selling. And real quick, within social selling, the first point, if in 2025, our theme is evolving, right? We want to evolve to do things differently to get different results.
Y'all don't know that, but now you know that.
Yeah, you know that. That's kind of our theme this year. We're going to think differently. Our mindset's going to be different. We're going to look at things differently, and we're going to focus differently.
It's going to get weird, but it'll be good.
It's like, think like a freak. It's going to get freaky.
That's what she said.
It's going to get weird.
Yeah. But one thing that I want to say within social selling before the queen of social selling takes over.
Get a hold of yourself.
The queen of social selling. Get a hold of yourselves. You're part of a multi-level marketing company. I wouldn't say that makes her the queen of social selling. They're so disconnected from reality. It's hilarious.
Whenever you're thinking of social media in general, and I've said this time and time again, I feel like a majority of people will use social media as a transaction or a way to, it's like a dopamine boost, but a transactional thing. The intention and the purpose of social media is right in the word, is to be social. So
it's to write a story, and that's where people are missing it. So it's
to be social and to write a story. And I think that the mindset, if you've had the same mindset every time where you're just using social media as a tool or a tick mark for you to do a post, or like, oh, I posted today, so I did this, or I did this, or I looked at this, I looked at some reels, I did this. I want you to start thinking differently of how you're actually going to connect with people this year to get to know people, because that's also going to ultimately evolve your business into a different.
And so this
is
great into me. So this is why you guys are going to see more training this year from us that Scentsy has never done on evolving in social media, how to attract a new market, how to attract Gen Z, for example, how to learn the platform you want to use. A lot of you guys
That's an important key that I brought up in Heidi and Orville's end of month reaction. If they're focusing on Gen Z and even Gen Alpha at this point that are now entering the age where they can join an MLM.
Oh, don't do it.
Gen Z and Gen Alpha are way more aware of the grift of the MLMs and the pyramid-like structures out there. And they're more apt to go with affiliate programs because they're out here influencing. They're on the internet. They've grown an audience that is of the Gen Z age and of the Gen Alpha age, and they are selling things. They're not going to be as apt to join an MLM as the millennials and the Gen X were. We're a dying breed. Thank God for that. So with her saying that, I just think it's important to point out that the likelihood of Scentsy and a lot more MLMs to continue moving to the affiliate model and completely getting rid of their team building structure is so high. So I don't know if she realized she just said that, but if they do any kind of market research on Gen Z and on Gen Alpha on how they are making their money and what they are likely to do, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that they're gonna not want to join an MLM and go toward an affiliate instead. So that says a lot for what's going to happen with these companies in the next couple of years.
Are comfortable on Facebook, and it's time for you to evolve. It's time for you to go to another platform and get out of your comfort zone. If you're not getting new households, and if you're not reaching new referrals, customers, if you're not recruiting, my first question to every single person on social media, if you're struggling in this area, is why are you not using another platform then? Because that platform, that app is a literal bubble of people. And I'm not going to get too much into this because we're going to do a special series in March on this with you guys. But when it comes to your customer and your social selling online, there's a couple things. So I'm going to read. I have them on a thing, but I don't want to post it because I'm going to use it with our program. But number one, you need to learn your audience. So if you are selling, let's say on Facebook, you need to know the audience and who's there. Okay. If you're selling on TikTok, you need to know your audience and what kind of videos they're into and, get ready with me's and all these things. If you're on Instagram, you need to learn how to do relational reels, how to really connect. I believe Instagram is the best way to connect with your customer. That's my personal opinion. I love it. I love how
something that I've noticed that they do with these trainings is they get on and tell everybody, you need to learn this, you need to learn this, you need to learn this. And then it's like, okay, bye. Okay, well, what did you actually teach me? You just told me what I need to go learn.
I don't know what to do.
How do I teach myself that? Where do I go? Maybe as a leader, that should be something that you put together, whether it's links or a full training yourself. Have some kind of resource for these people to do the things that you're telling them they have to do.
I can use the stories. I love how user-friendly it is, but learning your audience, learning your platform, whichever one it's going to be, and then selling the experience. So when you're on social media, a lot of you guys, what I'll see, and this is going to hurt some of y'all's feelings, but it'll be all right. There's nothing more cringy than when I see a stock photo. I would rather see your kid picking a booger with a bar in their hand. I would buy from that. There is such a detachment in today's world of click and release, and 2020 really hurt a lot of people where people were just posting the same pictures and the same pictures. And there's a time and a place, right? We've all used pictures, but what I'm saying is you're not selling just a product, you're selling an experience. And so
it shouldn't be that complicated to sell a scented product. You shouldn't have to have a personal connection to buy a scented product. A stock photo should work just fine. And that's saying a lot. It shouldn't be about the community. It's culty. It's giving cult vibes. When you need a product, you go and buy it. There doesn't need to be some kind of attachment there. That's too stressful. We have enough attachment things going on in the world we have to deal with. Why do we have to attach ourselves to products and product lines? No, stop the madness.
Into your audience and building trust with them. I have a lot more tips on this, but I'm going to share it when we do our program. The next tip I'm going to give you is clean up your platform. Some of you guys need to completely clean up your Instagram. You need to clean up your Facebook. You need to clean up. I know I need to clean up my Facebook because I'm never even on that platform, but my main platform is Instagram, by the way. So when you also are using a platform, you need to have a main platform. Meaning, like, I know this sounds crazy, but I don't check Facebook messages. You know why? I don't have to, because that's not my platform. I check Instagram. My customers know that I've created a structure by communicating with my customers because I don't have to be on Facebook if I don't want to, because my customers aren't on Facebook. I want to be on Instagram where I can reach literally hundreds of thousands of people with my public profile. It's a different structure on Instagram. It's not like Facebook, but you have to look at whatever your platform is, cleaning it up. Every couple months, you want to clean it up. That also includes get a new photo up there. If you've not done a professional photo, this may sound dumb, but like Get someone to do a 30-minute session, go down to a coffee shop, go down somewhere outside when it's nice, get some photos done of you, because it says something different. You can work your business however you want, but there's a confidence in a woman whenever she gets, even just, and a man, whoever's on here, when you get like fresh photos taken of you and you can post that, like, and clean up your profile picture. Again, this sounds like it doesn't matter, but these things do matter. So that's why I'm saying them. The next tip is authentically be you. This generation, you guys, Gen Z, we're going to be talking a lot about them in the next 11 months. They crave authenticity. They can't stand fakeness. They can't stand like feeling like they were tricked into joining because you flipped a kit. They can't stand feeling like you just want to sell them a 6-pack to meet your goal.
They can't stand
a pyramid scheme.
You need to take your own advice.
No matter how hard you try, you can't shine shit.
When presenting this opportunity, it's literally like you're trying to shine a piece of shit for the Gen Zers. Stop. And if you're a Gen Zer being approached by Scentsy or any other MLM, please end the cycle for us all. Thank you and good night.
They want curated samples. They want to feel like they're a part of something. They want to feel authentic. So this tip right here is so important, because if you're not authentic on your socials, meaning like the good, the bad, the ugly, whoever you are, be professional. You know what I mean? Like, in a sense, if your customers are going there, don't, but be who you are and be okay with that. Be okay with, I talk with my hands. Like, be okay with things that make you normally feel uncomfortable.
I talk with my hands. That makes me me. That's not that big of a personality trait.
Be you, because your core self is what's going to attract the people that are meant to buy, host, and join under you. They're going to come to you, and sharing your life, letting your audience in. They want to come in and see not just what you're doing with Scentsy, not just stock photos. And I want to encourage you, stop doing so many photos and go in your stories and start sharing stuff in your stories. I'm big on stories. That's one of the points I have on here, but
to an extent, if I open a story and I see like if those things at the top are dots, goodbye.
Swipe left. Swipe left.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I'll post stories and sometimes I go on rants and I'm like all throughout the day just posting stories. By like 3 o'clock, I'm looking and I'm like, there's too many dashes. We got to delete some of these stories on Instagram. I am so guilty of that. I don't like seeing so many dashes because it makes me want to swipe right by. I don't want to sit there and listen to your fucking stories forever. There's no way that people are making it all the way to the end and their numbers are steadily staying the same through their 75 story journey. No, thank you. Good night.
We'll get to that in 1 second. Commit to a platform. I already said that, but it's really important. Now, again, if you have a platform that's dying and you're flapping like a duck, you need to switch platforms. You need to get on TikTok, you need to get on Instagram, and you need to do a whole different thing. We're doing a training in March that's going to teach you how to build Instagram from scratch and sell on it. We're going to teach you how to build TikTok and sell from that, not from me, but from another amazing leader who kills it on TikTok. Number 7, social selling tip, engage with your audience. Use the polls in the stories, guys. Ask the questions, do the things. Ask if they like this color of this new couch you got. Draw them into your world that's not just Scentsy. You need to think when you're showing them your world, Scentsy is a part of your world. It kind of moves along with you.
What's funny about that is people know exactly why most individuals are doing these poll questions. And the reason I say that is because I sometimes, when I'm going on my story rants for the day, I'll throw a poll up there. And I was once accused of being like the MLM Huns because I was posting polls and I was like, no, I'm just trying to have fun.
I just want to have fun.
I don't want to sell you anything. It goes to show how programmed we are now when we're on social media. Seeing these interaction posts, we're automatically programmed to be like, they're going to try to sell me something if I click on this. So I'm just going to avoid it.
And so engaging with your audience, learn about your customers, learn what they watch. I look very specifically, there's so much I could train on this, but when I'm looking at who looked at my stuff in my stories, you can click and see who saw it. I'm immediately, if someone's loving it, liking it, doing claps, everything means something different to me. And depending on what emoji they do, again, this sounds very dumb, but like If they're doing like the fire emoji and I don't know who they are and I'm talking about a business quote, I'm going to message them. There's a lot of strategy that you can learn by looking at how people react, but using polls.
Yikes. Don't leave fire emojis either. Oh my God. You can't interact on social media. It's not safe. Everything's a landmine out here.
Everyone take cover.
Paying attention to your stories, what they comment on, what they like, and DMing your customers through whatever platform you use is gold. Some customers like to communicate through DMs. Number 8, selling through stories. I'm not even going to go into that because we're going to talk about that in March. But selling through stories is the way to go. I sell through stories. I know it sounds dumb. That's how I sell. It's almost like a party and I don't need one. Like I share what I'm doing. I share what I'm using. I rotate and use different products. I share when I'm setting something up. If you're setting a warmer up, go ahead and prop your phone up and just do a slow-mo or something of setting that warmer up and save the content. Because at the end of the day, the customers don't want it to be perfect. They want to see what your house looks like. They want to see the cat walk by. They want to see, you know what I mean? They need to see relatable content, and selling through stories is what does it for me. And try to refrain from stock photos. I literally only do it if I'm desperate or if it's licensed. Other than that, I'm going to try to find something that on Pinterest or Google, guys. Those are your best friend. And number 9 for my selling tips. For number 9 is evolving daily. We've got to evolve, you guys. We got to evolve. We got to level up. This is not the time of learning a new system. This, me and Justin believe, is the year of doing things different, evolving, really pushing ourselves.
Great. So they have to evolve. They have to learn all of these things, but they have to figure out how to learn them, and they have to post their stories and use polls. What is actually helping them in the business part of this? This is nothing groundbreaking. You're wasting their time.
To have to grow. Because we want to and because we need to. And so evolving daily is going to help you in social selling because it's going to teach you to go and learn about Gen Z. It's going to teach you to learn about how to do a transition video that you may not want to learn it, but go on Google and just look it up. And what, you never know what could happen if that reel goes viral or if that reel gets you a new customer. Because if your profile is public on Instagram, which everyone should be, unless you can't for whatever reason, but if it's public, you're getting new customers right out the gate.
I have strong feelings about putting kids on social media. Every now and again, you'll see me post my kids, but a lot of MLM people will put their profiles public and utilize their children to market their products and sell their products and try to reach new people. And I think that's something very important for MLM people to think about, and even people who are trying to influence, is the dangers of putting your children on social media so much. It can get very dangerous if you have those people who geo-track and they can find where you are, or if you show the layout of your house too much and they know where your kid's bedroom is. Like, my brain is so up because I listen to and watch and read so much true crime that I just think worst case scenario for everything. I would be a hypocrite to say don't post your kids, because I do, like I said, from time to time post my kids with me, but just be careful when you're doing it, especially if you are someone in an MLM and you have a public profile. That's all.
Seeing your content. Everybody can see your content. So evolving daily is going to be key. And like I said, I'm really excited. I'm not going to get into it, but we are going to be doing a really awesome series. It's going to be called Evolve. Starting in March. We want to work with our leaders a little bit on it over the next month to get it down, but it's going to help you guys learn how to social sell. It's going to be like a master class on that with different speakers and different people, not just Scentsy, that are going to help you guys learn how to tap in to the market and how to really make some money while you're already scrolling online. So more on that, and Justin finish us out, man.
Yeah, so the last thing within the goals that I want you guys to do, so the social selling, obviously that's important. That's the way this business is going. That's just the way now. But within the same thing, whenever you're thinking about goal setting, one thing I also want you to put down, if you're comfortable with, is once a quarter, I want you to try, or let's just make it even easier. Let's say twice a year, find an organization you care about or more than one and do a fundraiser for them. And I don't mean just blindly doing a fundraiser. I actually mean going, finding who the director of the organization is, tell them why you're passionate about it, that you want to get involved and you want to do a fundraiser, and there's nothing they have to do. You want to make it as easy as possible for them, and you just want to give back because you truly care for that organization.
What? Not only will you be benefiting you, but you truly care about the organization as well. It is automatically benefiting you. I only know this because fundraisers were pushed so heavily when I was in, and I did a whole fundraiser for selfish reasons. I'll admit that. When you run a fundraiser, you're still getting all the points for your incentives. You're still getting those new households. So now you're able to access their contact information. So now you can bug them to buy more or join or what have you. You're now getting closer to a promotion because you have sales that are higher than normal. Your upline's going to get more money because you're likely going to sell more when you have a fundraiser. So to sit here and say that you're going to do a fundraiser strictly because you care about the organization, or insinuate that you're doing a fundraiser because you want to help and you're a good person, is total horseshit.
Real talk time.
Whenever somebody in an MLM is praising their fundraising programs and how they can run their fundraisers,
It's total bullshit.
they're trying to get a promotion, they're trying to get an incentive, they're trying to reach their numbers, they're trying to do all the things they have to do to stay in their pyramid scheme and stay where they are. I know because I fucking did it.
Not only will you find new households, but you'll also be doing something that's benefiting you as well because you truly care about the organization. So the new households, the social selling, and fundraising, I think, are going to be pivotal for the success of your business this year in meeting new customers and getting new acquisition. I think that that's huge. And I just think that's something that
End goal, grow team. Always in the MLM, it's always a selfish reason. Always. If you were to approach these individuals and say,
hey, can you run a fundraiser? We're not going to pay you anything, but we need you to be there for the whole week, and we need you to help all of these people. Can't talk about Scentsy. It has nothing to do with Scentsy, but it's a fundraiser strictly for this organization.
what's the likelihood of these individuals being like, yeah, let's do it? I feel like it would be slim to none because they're not benefiting in any way, shape, or form when it comes to their Scentsy business.
has been extremely underutilized. And I think if you start focusing on that, getting out of your comfort zone, that's going to help you evolve. Which leads us into our next point, is how to evolve. And I believe there's 3 ways that you evolve. And I'm going to go into them real quick. But the 3 ways that you evolve, I feel like, is pruning, obviously evolving.
Who likes pruning? Nobody.
And
It's necessary,
training
though.
your mind. I think that's important. We've talked about this already too. But
Wait, say him again, because I was literally talking, Boo, while you said number 2.
Shocker.
Yeah, go.
pruning is the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Growing or evolving, we'll just say that's number 2. And then training yourself, training your mind is the third one. And I'll go into it. So when I say prune, in order to grow, you have to prune. That's gardening 101. We've learned that through gardening.
Oh, I garden myself, you know.
We've learned it through the Bible. We've learned it through reading anything. If you want to grow, you have to prune. And the thing about pruning is you have to cut off something that's dead, that's not working. So a question I want you to think about, what's something you're throwing away for 2025 that's no longer working in your business? What are you pruning in your business?
What business? These people don't own a business. Stop.
What boundaries are you setting that are going to be non-negotiables that are keeping you from being the best version of yourself? What's something that is holding you back and something that you need to let go of that is keeping you down and not allowing you to grow? Here's the thinking like a freak, thinking differently thing. It may be certain people you follow on social media. It may be certain things you do on social media. It may be a specific social media platform. It's just all about thinking. It may be relationships. It may be things that
It's just all about that cult-like thinking, isn't it? Is it? We don't know. Maybe. Allegedly.
triggers in your life. There's all these different things that you can prune out of your life to make you the best version of yourself. But it's just something you need to think about, that one thing that's going to bring you down, that is something that you're pruning or something that you can't get past of or that you can't let go of in your business that's bringing it down. That's the first one. All right. So the second one's grow and evolve. That's kind of going together. In order to do that, you also have to get uncomfortable. All right. So I'm assuming, just based off of a lot of the people I see on here, we have a lot of people that are in Scentsy that are introverts, which is kind of funny. if you think about it.
It's like half and half. Half of them on here are
No,
introverts,
I
half
know,
are
but-
extroverts for sure.
But from what I'm seeing, a lot of people were shaking their head that they are truly introverted. If you could stay home and not talk to anybody and be successful, you would do that. I'm just being honest. Let's just be honest.
You're not being honest.
So how are you going to make yourself uncomfortable this year?
If you're at that level of introvert, I used to think I was an introvert. I'm actually a full extrovert. But if you're at that level of introvert where you would like to stay home and not have to talk to anybody, you are in the wrong business. It's never going to work out. Just be honest with these people. Maybe not never going to work out, but the likelihood of it working out is so slim because you have to interact with people. You have to have a huge community to have any level of success in an MLM, from what I've seen.
What's something that makes you extremely uncomfortable to where it almost makes you feel like you're going to vomit at your
Sweaty. What makes you sweaty?
Like,
Wouldn't you like to know?
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this at all. Do it. You know what I mean? Go out, do it, get uncomfortable this year. Go to a Chamber of Commerce event.
You literally don't have to do that. If the thought of doing that literally makes you sick, if you don't like going out in public, you don't have to do that. You don't. If that makes you sick, why are you doing this? You're going to feel uneasy for the rest of the time you're in this business because you're going to be told you have to keep making yourself uncomfortable. That's not the case. You don't have to keep making yourself uncomfortable to make other people happy. You do you. You find a way to make money that's going to make you light up inside. Don't force yourself to go to the Chamber of Commerce events because Justin told you to. Fuck that.
Go to a random mom's night out if you have to.
I would, however, recommend going and doing those things if you are an extrovert looking to make genuine new friends. Please don't do that if you're trying to shill products or make any kind of money. I did this. Not necessarily this, but I reached out in a mom group on Facebook and just said that I'm weird. I'm a mom and I have no friends. I was invited to trivia that week, and luckily I did make some genuine connections, and I still go to trivia every week, and I still talk to those people regularly. And that was a situation where it was beneficial for me as a human being to go out and interact with other people. If you're specifically going to these moms nights or trivia nights or anything that you're invited to, or you find an advertisement to with the intent to talk about Scentsy or recruit into Scentsy, please don't do that. Please stay away. There are people that are legitimately trying to find human connections that don't have to do with money. Okay? Okay.
You at a wine and dine to where you don't know anybody. Go do something to challenge yourself to do it. Yeah, Courtney, Don, speak. I think Chloe told me tonight that you're going to be training at World Tour. So you're already about to do something that's different. So there you go right there. Sorry if I just made you sweat a little bit on the call. But yeah, where do you personally, and sorry.
She's going to do great.
I know. So like, just where do you personally need to change? Like I said, it's just a mindset shift that you have to think about yourself and what you need to do to get uncomfortable within Scentsy, within your personal self to grow. This doesn't just have to be for Scentsy, but what's something that can make you uncomfortable this year that you've been putting off or avoiding, not wanting to do. You can just say, hey, no, my husband can do that because I don't feel like dealing with that. Or what is it? That's just something that I want you to try to get out of your mind self to help you grow this year. All right. And then the last one within it is development and training. Take Scentsy out of the equation. What's something that you struggle with?
Wait a minute. Why are you taking Scentsy out of the equation of your Scentsy business? This is a Scentsy business that you're talking about. So why are we removing Scentsy from the business? This is where you could just say we're a cult, in my opinion, allegedly.
That you need to get better at within your business to make you better. What podcasts, books, etc. are you challenge yourself to read to be a better version of yourself? Whether it's public speaking. There's something called Toastmasters. I think I brought that up before. Katrina, that's something you should do. If you don't want to talk in front of people, look at Toastmasters classes that are going on around and go do a Toastmasters class because it'll make you get up and do toast in front of people that you don't even know, but you have to get up and do it. But that just is different things that help challenge yourself. And that's something you can do. And then this is something Chloe put down that I thought that was great within this. How are you training your customers to give them the best experience? And then that's the last point. So Chloe, elaborate on that a little bit. And then
What
we can be
am I
done.
gonna say? Like training them to get them where I want them to go? Like on social? Where are you?
Right there, that's the last point.
How many times are they seeing you on social? Wait, where?
Right there, how are you training your customer?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I already talked about that, but you know, when it comes to evolving, you have to, you know, I always see, I saw in the chat earlier, someone's like, I'm scared to go live, or, you know, and I know there's a lot of you guys that are afraid of going live. Or, you know, going live is not the same as going in your story. Okay. Story's quicker. Go in your story. You don't need to go live on Facebook. I think we're over that anyways. Y'all don't need to do that anymore. Listen to me. Don't do that. I'm just going to tell y'all right now. Just go in your story. They're clicking the story more than they are scrolling. Yep. They're clicking stories at 9 o'clock at night. They're not scrolling. They're clicking stories and then they're scrolling past ones that they don't want to see. So that's number one is if you're scared to do videos, go in your stories because they're going to be away in 24 hours. And that always makes me feel better. I'm like, they're gone. Even if it's bad, it's gone. But you want to show your customers and train your customers on where to shop. Okay. I train my customers to shop, not through a grid. I don't like, my grid is protected. That sounds very strange, but we're going to talk about this in March. Your grid must be protected. Your stories are for with every product in your house. When you're doing something in that product, you need to film yourself. Okay. You don't want to show your face. That's fine. Angle it out the product, but I train my customers on where to shop. So they're going to my stories to look at bring back bars, Valentine's Day collection. On my grid, meaning on my main profile, I may do a live where I'm unboxing a whole collection, right? But I'm training my customers on where to shop. How do your customers know where to go when they're on your social? Do they know where you're sharing stuff? Is it in the right? A lot of y'all have a VIP group, right? So VIP group is training them on where to go, where to shop, where to look, where to go. So if you're not doing that or you've never thought about doing that, start getting an idea of when you're doing your follow-up with your customers. What I say to my customers, and I have signage of it that they get in their bag or in the mail, but I tell them, hey, connect with me here. Connect with me here. And it literally takes them to my Instagram, that platform, because
Is this potentially the only tangible step that they have given their entire team? Let your audience know where to shop? This could have been a fucking email.
I want them to connect with me there. And I even tell them when I'm following up, hey, this is the platform I use, not just for like my family and my life, but I use this to share Scentsy. So if you're interested, you know, here's my Instagram. I'll text it to them. And again, I'm consistent with that too, which is something we'll talk about in March with the social media strategy. But yeah, so just train. If you haven't trained your customers or ever thought about that, like where to shop, where to go, right? Every app, Target does it. Every app does this. They're telling people where to go. Deals of the day, this, that, right? So make sure that you're telling your customers where to go, not just through social. Be consistent in that platform and in that space. Pick where you're going to go. VIP page or story. Like pick the better one. Or like it's just better to go all in on one. But I would say though, if you are struggling with a platform, like I know I already said this earlier, but you need to try a new platform. Some of y'all need to get away from Facebook. I'm sorry, but you need to challenge yourself. You need to get on TikTok. You need to get on Instagram. You need to start playing around with it and doing all that. But we will do more training on that in March.
Yeah. And that's all we had. Do y'all have any questions for us or anything before we kind of wrap everything up? Is there anything we talked about you want us to elaborate on a little bit more?
Yeah, we have about 10 minutes. Do y'all have any questions in the chat? Y'all can drop them in the chat. Oh, where's Paula? Paula, hang on.
Whoa, what?
Hang on. I'm going to embarrass her really quick. Paula just started annual sales today. So I'm just going to unmute you. I don't even care. It's on YouTube and it should be, but I'm so proud of you and you've worked super hard and we love you. We're really, really proud of you.
Thank you.
Super proud. We're super proud of you. All right, y'all. I had to embarrass her real quick. Sorry.
Embarrass or love bomb her. This is an example of the types of love bombing that these MLM reps do, specifically in Scentsy.
Because I didn't do it on our leadership call. Do y'all have any questions or anything y'all want to ask Justin? I shared the notes on here. The notes are also going to be shared in the YouTube video. But yeah, we're going to do a whole social media kind of launch in March. Y'all are going to love it. It's going to be unlike anything y'all have ever seen. We're going to work super hard on it with ourselves and the leaders. We're going to get feedback. So y'all, I think y'all are really going to like it. It's going to be good. We're going to help y'all's Instagrams go.
Chloe's number 3 with Sell the Experience.
Yeah, I did not know what you asked earlier and then my brain forgot. So number 3 on the social selling tip guide is sell the experience. sell the experience. But I promise you, once we dive into all this in March, it'll make more sense. And then on the leader call, I did share this. So Tina, text me separately if you didn't get it, and I'll share it with you because I'm sharing it with leaders. Y'all have any other questions? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stop the recording. Let me make sure. I'm going to make sure nobody has a question. I'm going to wait 1 second in case anybody has any question or wants any elaboration or just is dying.
They're all done. They want to leave.
To know something. Cool. I love it. That means y'all's brain is probably full.
Sorry,
Justin talks a lot, but he's great. Okay, let's see. All right, cool. All right.
Justin talked a lot at them. They're probably all glazed over. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me while I talk a bunch of shit, and I will see you.